honesty can be a beautiful thing.
When you focus on what you're good at instead of posing as something you're not, you get a sales success story like the Lexus RX.
Since the RX became our first SUV of the year back in 1999, Lexus has never tried to associate the model with off-road mastery or, until recently, sportiness. Thanks to that focus and a reputation for reliability, the RX has built a loyal following of buyers and has been the brand's bestseller for more than a decade.
But even the RX has its limits, in terms of passenger hauling, so Lexus is extending the luxury crossover's appeal with a longer 3-row version.
We got our hands on a 2018 Lexus RX 350 liters to test its performance and see how well it might meet the needs of a growing family with a Toyota Highlander and Lexus RX already in the driveway.
Our sample size family is my sister and her husband, both of whom are partial to Toyota and Lexus vehicles.
The 2018 RXL seems like a natural fit for a family with 2 young kids and an RX that's starting to feel a little cramped with 2 car seats and kid stuff everywhere else.
The relatively affordable size-up option until now was to jump up to the Lexus GX, a 3-row SUV with sub-20 mile-per-gallon fuel economy, an aging interior, and total cargo space that doesn't match up to the more car-like Highlander or even the 2-row RAV4.
The 2018 Lexus RXL, which is 4.3 inches longer than the regular RX models, seems to be the logical next step.
Lexus offers the V6-powered 2018 RX 350 liters in front and all-wheel drive variants, and this spring the all-wheel drive RX 450 hours V6 hybrid will join the lineup.
No F-Sport variants will be offered in L form, but after experiencing the RX 350 F-Sport stiff ride, that's not really a big loss.
If the idea of driving an RX with the tiny-looking base 18-inch wheels like the ones on our tester doesn't appeal to you, flashier 20-inch wheels are available.
With a 3rd row squeezed in the back, the 2nd row has been raised a little to allow for more 3rd row footroom.
It's a nice touch, and there's still enough 2nd row headroom, but nothing can disguise how cramped the 3rd row is, even for my 3-year-old niece, who instinctively shifted her legs to the other seat after I adjusted the 2nd row seat in place. Folding up that 2nd row backrest and shifting it forward is easy enough, but there's still not as much room to climb to the rear seat as, say, in the larger Infiniti QX60.
Counterintuitively, the true value of occasional use 3-row crossovers like the RXL isn't necessarily in those extra seats but in the extra cargo space when the 3rd row is folded down.
But if you really want everyday functionality for 7 or 8 people, buy a larger 3-row luxury crossover or apply Lexus badges to a Toyota Sienna minivan. Fold the RXL's 3rd row seats down, give it a second, and you'll actually have less space than you would behind the regular RX 350's 2nd row seats when measured from the floor to the tonneau cover, 18.6 cubic feet in the RX 350 to the RX 350 liters S 15.3 cubic feet in the same metric.
Overall, the maximum amount of cargo space in the regular RX 350 is 56.3 cubic feet, whereas Lexus says the max in the RX 350 liters is 58.5 cubic feet.
What we'd suggest if you are seriously considering this car is to bring whatever you normally carry in the back seat of your car, maybe a stroller and a few grocery store canvas bags, and compare the visual space from the back of a regular RX 350 to a RX 350 liters.
The third row seats are fully power operated, and I don't mean that in a good way.
You have to hold down the button while the seat backs fold before the entire seat will shift downward to add a tad more space.
The entire process takes about 14 seconds to fold down or about 17 seconds to get them back up.
Compare that to a QX60 we happen to have in the garage at the same time, that Infinity's third row seats took around 7 seconds of holding a button to get them in place and only 1 second to fold them up, thanks to a latch you pull while simultaneously pushing down the seat so gravity can finish the job.
Easy.
That might not sound like a luxurious experience, but I'd rather fold down a seat myself in 1 second than stand behind my car for 14. The Lexus is limited here by its smaller size, but that just right size was part of what initially attracted my sister and her husband, who weren't keen to drive a vehicle as big as a QX60 or Buick Enclave.